Kevin. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, Terry. You?
I'm doing just great. It's a beautiful day today, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's great. Last time we were together, we were talking about, your recent state of being clean and your stay at Volta and your involvement in drug court, etc. Would you like to continue talking a little bit about that today?
Yes, sir. We can talk about that.
Good deal.
I'm just fresh out of Volta. Life today without the use of meth is much better. I'm in drug court, and it's been very good to me. It's kept me in line. I get drug tested at least 3 times a week, and it's kept me in line. And every day, life's better without drugs.
That's great to hear that. That sounds like you have a good foundation there. So as the drug court groups, you're going to those how often?
The group sessions, 3 times a week for my first phase. I'm getting ready to phase up to phase 2.
Right.
It'll only be 2 times, and my testings will be twice a week too.
Well,
and that'll be a lot more off of me.
That'll ease your responsibility a little, I guess.
Yes, sir.
And the hassle and aggravation, because I hear that a lot from a lot of people that I work with. But let's go back to that statement you made about life without meth. It sounds like you really feel that you're much better as a person. Expand on it a little bit. What's different now that you're not using?
Practically a 360 turn. Life without meth today is, I couldn't even realize it because I've been on it for 15 years. Mm-hmm. Nothing but meth first in my life. And now my family is back in my life. Since I've been out of Volta, I've gotten a job, and I'm happier than I have been in 15 years.
Fantastic.
I only wish I would have done this sooner. Mm-hmm. I almost lost my wife. She left me. She gave me an ultimatum to go to rehab, and reluctantly I did. And I'm so glad I did now. Through the strength of God and the support from my family, life is so much better today.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of support there, especially from your spouse. And you mentioned God. It's good to have a spirituality and a strength there for sure. Do you have any children at home?
Yes, I got 2 boys.
Interesting. How old are they?
One is 23 and one is 16.
So you started young, because you're not that old of a person yourself.
No, I started at 18.
Wow, great. How are they? Are they supportive?
Yes, they're very supportive. I always hid my drug use from my older son. Mm-hmm. He now knows about it, and it's taken a lot to get his confidence back in me. And I know it's too soon right now to try and regain his trust from me, but that's another struggle I have to go through. But without drugs, these struggles seem to just come right ahead for me. Continuing to use drugs, I never could get out of any struggles, but now I find myself being able to mentally and passionately get through anything that I need to in life. Life with meth is nothing but a nightmare. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've done a lot of soul searching, a lot of digging deep, and come to a lot of realization about your usage, and time. Yeah, like you said, your oldest son. It's going to take time. It didn't happen to you overnight. And he's not going to heal or get over it overnight. So it's going to take some time. Just be patient with it.
Yeah.
And I think that he'll come around and things will be even better. It sounds like you just have a great thing going, and I encourage you, to continue it. And I hope that you get phased up here pretty soon and be able to, continue the good life. Recently, the last time we talked, I knew that you had talked about your work a little, that you really like your work, that you at one time was working for someone else, but now you've sort of gone out on your own, and you're in car body repair and stuff like that. How's that going?
It's going good. Independently, it's been going real good.
Great.
I used to do it when I was doing meth, and it never was successful. And just in a few months, uh, everything's been going 100% on it.
Fantastic. So, what does that tell you about your not using and about life in general?
Well, it tells me that you're just fooling yourself when you're on drugs, and you think that you're going to succeed on anything. But I found out that anything I tried to do on meth, I failed miserably. And when you put drugs first in life, it certainly, you never win. It's always a lose situation. A lot of people hit rock bottom, and I luckily didn't, but I was very close to hitting rock bottom. But work is always was last on your list. The only time I seemed to really achieve good in work was whenever I wanted to make money to buy drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I was never responsible enough to. Well, at first 5 years of meth, I was a functioning addict, and you're only fooling yourself if you think that you can continue to pay your bills and be a responsible husband and a responsible father. It's all a lie. The only reason why I survived the first 5 years probably was because I was in such a habit in life to do what was responsible, but you lose your responsibilities with your dignity.
Wow. You've really gone deep there. That's great. That's fantastic. You had an experience at Volta. Do you think that was a positive experience for you that sort of got you over the hump, or was it pretty difficult for you?
Yeah, it was definitely a positive experience. Volta taught me a lot of tools to use outside. I know I have a long way to go, but I keep using those tools, and I work just for today on my drug use of not using drugs again.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave me the tools, and we had family sessions. It gave my wife ability to know tools also. She found out that I never heard of being an enabler. She was my enabler, even though she didn't want me to use. She never realized of how much she was enabling me to use drugs.
Wow.
And
I'm sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Are you still doing any family therapy at all? Or she maybe attending some Al-Anon or something like that? I just wondered.
No, we learn the tools up here at Volta every weekend, but she knows now a lot of secrets that I hid, and she knows now that she was an enabler, and that's one tool that she knows not to use. One thing that was preached to us, which I really didn't care for, was is almost a certain relapse in your drug use when you're trying to quit. I've luckily not relapsed, but she knows that if relapse is inevitable or does happen, she knows tools that she don't have to do now to me to continue the drug use.
Right. Good.
And she luckily so far hasn't had to do anything like that.
That's fantastic. I'm glad that, and I think that probably strengthened your sobriety and being in recovery and staying in recovery, and I'm sure it strengthened your all's relationship because you were more honest and open about your usage and things from the past have come out, and she handles those things pretty well with you, and I think that's great. Sounds like it was a good experience. How about the drug court groups that you're doing now, along with these individuals? Do you feel that they motivate you? Do they help you?
Most definitely. Anything that can help me teach about my drug use, even when you have what they call triggers or cravings, talking about it, I think only makes you stronger when you're able to be strong about not using during your cravings or triggers. But not only that, that might be the only slight downfall is when you're talking about it. But if you can't talk about it, how are you going to help yourself with it?
That's insightful, very, very insightful. I'm glad to hear that too. That's really good. So, you've been to Volta, you've been out, and you've been clean how long now?
3 months now.
3 months, and you're in the drug court doing the groups 3 times a week, and the drug testing. You're doing individuals. You're soon to phase up, which will take some of those groups off of you, and maybe what do you plan to do with the time that you would normally come to a group, like on a Tuesday night or whatever, and you don't have to anymore? What are you going to use that time to do?
Well, mostly relaxation with my work schedule and NA program meetings. It's been really overwhelming in phase 1, but just a little more relax when I phase up, because it's pretty overwhelming in drug court your first phase. But I certainly don't plan to relax in my addiction. My mind is set forth to learn as much as I can about it, and they told me in Volta it was dangerous to say you're definitely never going to use again, but because you can't put up a defensive wall if it ever approaches you in the wrong way, and it made a lot of sense to me. So I put up a defensive wall and prepare myself for any kind of relapse. But the main thing is I stay away from people and places and things that remind me or have anything to do with my drug use. I've lost every contact number that I've had other than family. As a matter of fact, I cut my SIM card up in my phone. I did a lot of preparation before I even went to Volta, not even realizing that I was preparing myself, because my mind was made up so much that I wouldn't use drugs again. My mind's still set at that, but I do realize how dangerous it is to try to say that you're not going to in case of something devastating in your family life or with your family. You got to prepare yourself for anything, and just simply saying that you're never going to use again to an addict is not part of the sanity. I don't think, because one thing you gain back is sanity when you stop using drugs, because it's definitely an insane thing to do.
That's interesting you were saying that, because I was going to ask you if you have not only a plan but several plans, because the reality is you're staying clean and you're in recovery, and I'm hoping that you have, it sounds like you do though, have a plan of action if someone were to approach you from your past, or maybe someone you don't even know that may have heard your name or know about you. Do you have such plans?
I have plans, and I've had a few encounters of some of my old drug friends, and I've turned away real fast. I know I can't avoid them forever, eye to eye, but if it does happen, my plans are to simply. I figured the first thing I would say if I was in drug court, that would probably scare them away real fast. Say anything about court to a drug dealer or a drug user, and they don't want to really have nothing to do with you. Just say court or in trouble with the law.
Yeah.
So that's actually one of my tools right now in drug court. When I'm out of drug court, I have not really set up a relapse prevention, but it's certainly on my mind right now to set up some type of relapse prevention. Because when everyone's off my back and everything's hunky-dory, it scares me sometimes thinking about it.
Sure.
Just like it scared me my last day of leaving Volta, because you're protected there. You're in walls, and you know that drug use more than likely couldn't happen unless you just left the building.
That's okay, and it's perfectly normal for you to have a fear about that and coming out of Volta. because as you said, it's a protected environment, and now you're out on the streets again in the real world. Excuse me. And I do like your mentioning having a prevention plan and working on it. You know, and it'll take some time. That's okay. You have time to work on it, and you're thinking about it now. You know, it's definitely something that you will need to do down the road, more than likely. But I think you're on the right road. You're on the right path, so to speak. You said some very positive things about the whole process of being in drug court and having to do all the different things that you have to do. But it seems that to me that you've come to that realization that it's do it or not, and you know what's my consequences if I do and if I don't do, and I think you've chosen, you know, that you don't want to do the meth or any other drugs because you know that those consequences aren't what you want. Sounds like that you've really thought it out a whole lot, and I'll pat you on the back. You are to be commended for that. That's really good.
Thank you.
I hope that you do get phased up here relatively soon. If there's anything that I can help you to do in these individuals, or there's times or issues that you would like to discuss individually, you know, it's completely confidential, and I'd be more than willing to work around the schedule to try to help you any way I can, because I think you're on the road to success, and I'd love to see that happen for you. Anything else going on in your daily life since we last talked a week or so ago?
No, I strongly want to get more into my spiritual, other than just going to church on Sundays. I feel like I need to spend a little more with my time, especially since I'm phasing up. And the most important thing is, unbelievably, you wouldn't think that wanting to help others or the addict who still suffers through an NA program, something in that, maybe to fill up a little bit of time, because you only keep what you by giving it away. I believe strongly in that, but maybe something extra with the church or something like that. I think it's important to not have any spare time in
Absolutely.
when you're just fresh out of a rehab and still fresh into from your drug use.
Sure. Have you or did you hear in Volta or in any of the drug court groups or any of that stuff? And I may have mentioned it to you last time. I don't remember. But the 6 magic words.
I know. I think I have heard you say it before.
Or really? And
Yeah.
the 6 magic words are, 3 things: trust God, clean house, and help others.
Yeah.
And you hit on that, helping others, and that's, you've got to give it back. And you mentioned maybe working some in NA groups and stuff like that, and that's wonderful. That's fantastic. Those are 6 magic words. I think if people go through that on a daily basis, it seems to be a big help to them in their recovery. Sounds like you're on a great path, on the right road, and you're going to be successful.
Thank you.
You're very, very
I want to thank everybody in Pinarol, and you too, Terry, and
You're more than
because
welcome.
I couldn't do it by myself. That's certainly true. I mean, trying to beat this addiction by yourself, it is setting yourself up for failure.
Sure.
And part of drug court and Pinarol, and my NA program at the Serenity House, and my family. There's no way you can do this alone.
Right.
You got to have somebody with you, and if nobody has anybody with them, just going to an NA program, you have friends there, and it's important not to try to do it by yourself. And I who believes in God, prayer is very important too.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Yeah, you're exactly right. The more support you have from all areas, the better off you're going to be. Because bottom line is we all need each other.
That's exactly right.
I'm learning from you, you're learning from me, and something I may pick up from you may help someone else and vice versa.
Right.
And I think that's fantastic. again, sounds like you're doing really well. Again, we're here for you, to give you support. And if there's anything that comes up that you need to talk about, and it's going to be, a week before we can get back together, or whatever, just take a notebook, write it down, keep a little journal of issues that you'd like to talk about, and we'll work through them together. Does it sound good?
Yes, sir.
Sounds great.
Thank you
You have
very
a great rest of the day. It's good to see you again, and I'll see you next week at that same time, okay?
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you. See you later.